Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for that moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the long dark night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the long dark night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for that moment to arise. You were only waiting. You were only waiting. You were only waiting for that moment to arise. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out this absolutely incredible guitar classic. It is, of course, Blackbird by the Beatles, one of Paul McCartney's finest moments. It's an incredible song, just beautiful and loads of fun to play on the guitar as well. And some good news for you. It's actually nowhere near as hard to play as you might think. It's all about getting the picking hand correct. A lot of people do all these sort of funny finger picking patterns, but all you need for this song is the thumb and the first finger. You're picking notes with the first finger, but you're also strumming with the first finger. When you get this right, the song becomes a load easier. I played it wrong for years and years and years. Chance meeting with Paul McCartney and actually a little misunderstanding. I got to ask him about the song, misunderstood what he meant, but then did some video research and figured it out, and it was like, oh, that's how you play it. It is so much better. So we're going to start the lesson by looking at the way that you pick it, okay? Using this first finger strum. It's really amazing. Once you get that down, the rest of the song becomes relatively easy. It's not like there aren't a few kind of awkward jumps around with the fretting hand, but for the most part, if you get the picking right, the rest of it will probably fall into place. So let's get to a close-up and check out this finger magic. A little slower. This is a really good example, this very first little lick. I'm going to talk about the fretting hand fingering, of course, in just a second. But what I want you to see here, first of all, thumb is playing the bass note. First finger grabs a note. On this case, the second string. You play those together. And then there's this like down little strum. It's only ever playing really the third string and the second string with this little down strum. So we get notes together picked, little down strum with the first finger. Again, notes together picked. This time thumb's playing the fifth string. Then there's that little strum again. So pick, down strum, pick, down strum, pick, down strum. That's the most common thing, is having these pick notes together with a down flick with the first finger. But there's also this pattern. So it's probably the hardest one. So this one, you play the thumb and the first finger are going to play together. In this case, they're playing the fifth string and the second string. They play, then you go down, up, bass, up, down. Okay? Together, down, up, bass, up, down. Together, down, up, bass, up, down. Now, my recommendation would be to actually spend a little bit of time just trying to do this. If you want to do this particular chord, the first finger's on the 10th fret of the 5th string, little finger is on the 12th fret of the 2nd string. And just practice doing this, the thumb and the first finger together. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Pluck, down, up, bass, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now the interesting thing is, if you actually just get, once it's kind of smooth, it just feels really like he's kind of strumming. It's really, really easy. It's probably easy to start off with. It might take a little bit of thinking about it. So if you do it 5 times and you haven't nailed it, like, don't be surprised. It might take you like 100 goes. But I'd really recommend spending a bit of time just working on that. Together, down, up, bass, up, down. Together, down, up, bass, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So if I just play the first part of the verse, you'll see now how consistent it is. So we got this blackbird singing in the dead of night. Still these same 2 patterns. And again, the next section, together, down strum together, down strum together, down strum together, down strum. Then it's this again. Still this. We're back to just the notes and then the individuals. Now with the strum. It really is all about that technique. I would recommend that you spend a good chunky of practice time, at least in the initial stages, really working on that finger picking pattern, getting used to doing the thumb and finger together, followed by the little down strum with the first finger, and then the 1, 2, and 3, and 4 little pattern. Those 2 things, which you get right at the beginning. This just that, even just going and practicing that over and over again will be really helpful, because you're working on the essential technique for this song. The fingering is relatively easy. There's a few tricky moments, but generally not too hard. This is going to be the part that most people find tricky, so do give it a good dose of practice. But let's get now to the fretting hand and check out the notes. So we start off with the 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the thicker string. First finger is going to play the open B string, the 2nd string. So you play those 2 together. Then you got the little down strum with the first finger targeting the 3rd string. Then first finger goes down 1st fret on the 2nd string. Thumb is now going to play the 5th string. This is kind of an A minor 7 chord. And then you got the downstroke with the first finger targeting the 3rd string again. 1 and 2 and 3. And. Now this time we got 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the 5th string. And little finger going down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. A lot of people play it with the first finger there, so I find that a little bit awkward. I can't remember which one Paul McCartney does, but this feels loads easier to me. Now the next chord though requires a little bit of a slide, so little finger is going to slide all of the way up to the 12th fret, and first finger is going to go on the 10th fret of the 5th string. Okay, and this is where we're going to get our first 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And there's 2 bars of that. Okay, so let's just get through that part. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and again 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So really what's happening, there's an interesting thing happens with the slide. So my first finger is kind of sneaking down pretty early doors and sliding up to the right place. So it might take a little bit of practice to get used to. You could practice that just on its own if you're struggling with that particular movement. remember, if you're learning a song and there's one particular bit that you're finding really difficult, work on that one little bit. Don't just practice the song all of the way through and making the same mistake every time. Extract the bits that are difficult and give them some extra love, okay? So this is that section. So good to practice this just on its own, because you're getting everything that you need, really, technically. So it does that for the intro, then it does it for the verse. So blackbird singing in the dead of night. Now there's this really nice little climb up. C, A7 over C sharp, D, B7 over D sharp to E minor. Okay, this is probably the trickiest fingering of the song. So first finger is in the 3rd fret of the 5th string, little finger is in the 5th fret of the 2nd string. So you play, you got the little hit with the first finger in between each chord. So you play this, here, now this, 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the 5th string, 1st finger 3rd fret on the thinner string. So that's already a little bit different. And obviously the 1st finger's now got to change. It's going from the 2nd string to the thinner string. Okay, and again, you're targeting the 3rd string, but if you accidentally hit the 2nd string a bit there, it's, no one's probably going to notice. So C, like I said, this is actually an A7 over C sharp, but don't worry about what it is. It's just a nice little chromatic movement. Then a D, which is exactly the same shape as the C was, just up 2 frets. And now we've got the same shape. This is a B7 over D sharp, technically, but really we're just thinking we got this nice chromatic movement. C, C sharp, D, D sharp to E. Okay, in the E we've got little finger down the 8th fret and 1st finger on the 7th fret. Still just on the 5th and 2nd string. So again, that's the kind of thing that would be good to practice. Just working through that little section so you get the fingering right. Might feel a little bit jumpy to start off with, but it's not too bad with a little bit of practice like this. Extract the bits that are tricky and do them over and over again. So take these broken wings, learn to fly. E, or E minor rather. Then 1st finger drops down 1. This is an E flat major chord. It doesn't really matter, but it's just dropping down to the 6th fret there. E minor rather, to E flat. Now we kind of go backwards. D, A7, C. Okay, so this is 5th fret, 7th fret, the D. Back to the A7 over C sharp, 4th fret, 3rd fret on the thinner string. To the C. Then it goes to C minor. So 1st finger drops back. G with a B bass, we move the whole shape down 1 fret. Now 1st finger comes off, little finger goes down. This is an A7. Like you could put the whole chord down if you wanted to, but I generally don't. I just try and avoid that 4th string. And then we go to a D7. But again, we're playing now the 4th string with the thumb. And 1st finger is playing the plucking the 2nd string. 1st finger is in the 1st fret of that 2nd string. Let's go through those sections again, just nice and slowly with the chords. So we got the climb up originally, C, A7 over C sharp, D, B7 over D sharp, E minor, E flat, D, A7 over C sharp to C, C minor, G with a B bass, A7, D7 to G. Let's go through that verse and I'll play it just nice and slowly. So, blackbird singing in the dead of night. Climb, take these broken wings, learn to E minor. 1st finger back, E flat. Climb down, D, C sharp to C minor. G with a B bass to A7 to D7 to a G. Often when I do when I'm doing this D7, for some reason I've put my little finger down here on the 3rd fret. I like the sound of that, but that's not on the record. That's like my arrangement, but I've been playing this for so long, sometimes you might find my fingers doing things which aren't exactly what's on the record, but it's just because I played it a lot and things kind of morph into your own versions. But I'm trying to keep as strict as I can to the original one. At the end of the first verse, there's this little fill, which is this. So it's back to the C, G with a B bass, A7, D7 to G. Then we're into verse 2, and verse 2 is exactly the same, but it doesn't have that little tag at the end. So verse 2, Blackbird singing in the dead of night. May as well play it through just so you get to see the whole thing. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. First finger back. Now the climb down. D, the C sharp bass, C, C minor, G with a B bass to A7, to D7, to G. That's actually most of the tune, but there is one other section which I guess you'd call the chorus, which is this. So this is like an F. This is first finger in the 8th fret, little finger in the 10th fret. Again, pluck, down strum, move it back to the E minor, back to D minor, so same shape, down to C, which is 3rd fret, 5th fret, then B flat, which is first finger 1st fret, little finger 3rd fret, and back to the C. So it's going F, E minor, D minor, C, B flat, C. Obviously note that pick, down, up, down, down, up, bass, up, down. Same thing again, F, E minor, D, C, B flat, A7, D7, and that's the bridge. So Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of the dark black night. So after that section it goes back and it plays verse 2 but instrumentally. So all of this stuff is all instrumental now, so you get a nice clear listen to what's going on with the little climb up, E to the E flat, climb down, C to C minor, G with a B bass, A7 to D7 to G, and then you're back into Blackbird fly. So it goes straight back into that section again. That's a little bit weird feeling for me anyway. Into the light of the long black night. And this is also an interesting, I think that the arrangement of it is actually, it's been harder for me to memorize the exact arrangement it has learning the parts of the song, which is kind of interesting. It took me loads and loads of goes to be able to play it with the correct arrangement all of the way through. So you might struggle with that as well. Good news is, just on that point, very often Paul McCartney plays around with the arrangement, so he doesn't do it exactly like the record every time either. So you can kind of feel it out if you play a little bit of an extra thing there or put an extra fill in. If people are listening, as long as you keep the rhythm right, you're going to be okay. So don't let yourself play one wrong note and fall off the skateboard, right? Like, try and get it right. But if you go to the wrong section, or you add a little bit, or you stay on a bit longer, doesn't matter. As long as you keep the rhythm, you don't stop. Well, you don't stop except for this bit, which is another kind of funny thing. After that second chorus or bridge, depending on what you want to call it, the Blackbird fly, here, fly, into the light of the long dark night. It just slows down. So it plays at the G for an extra couple of bars with a gradual row. Then on the original recording, you get the little bird whistles. And there's one other little bit that gets used. I think most times when I've played it, I've just gone, after the pause, you've got a climb up and a climb down. So it goes from the G, A, G with a B bass, C, straight back down, G with a B bass, A7, D, and then we're into verse 3. So verse 3, exactly the same again as all of the other verses. The one difference there, this time the very last part that you were only waiting for this moment to arise, the original recording just repeats it around 3 times and then finishes. I've always done it slightly different. I've given it a kind of an ending, which I'm going to show you just because I did it at the beginning, but it's not on the original recording at all. So I do the, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Then I finish it with, you were only waiting, you were only waiting, you were only waiting for this moment. Okay, so this is just staying on the B, the G with the B bass, staying on the A7, staying A minor, I'm keeping the A bass here, and then changing to D. And I usually do this D7 sus to regular D, and I put this little ending, this is purely just my thing. So just a G with an arpeggiation. First and second fingers go down first fret and second fret on the second and fourth strings. Slides up 2 frets. Third and fourth fingers go down in the 5th fret and slides up to the 10th fret. And then I put first finger down fretting the note G, harmonics on strings 4, 3 and 2, and then I'll finish it with little finger down on the 15th fret on the high G. But that isn't on the record, that's just my little ending, which I like for this particular song. So my advice would be to learn the sections individually, give a good dose of practice to the strumming part, because that really is the key to being able to play it. If you keep the strumming hand and the feeling going, even if you get the chords wrong, sometimes you can get away with it. I've definitely done ones where I've accidentally hit a D minor instead of a D major a couple of times, but as long as you keep it on going and you don't fall off the skateboard rhythmically, you should be able to keep it going fairly smoothly. And it's such a lovely song to play, really satisfying. It sounds great even on its own. If you're not somebody who enjoys singing as well, you can play it instrumentally and it sounds great. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this one. I think it's an amazing song. I'm sure it's going to bring you and anyone that hears you play a lot of pleasure. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Bye bye.